Greetings and welcome back once again. La-di-dee, la-di-da. Good morning. I got some sleep, y'all. Woo! But I don't get no sleep. It's a wrap. Okay? All praise be to the Creator for another day of life. Give thanks for life. Young ones, for me, it's not really a New Year's, but the young ones were born on this day, January 1. So all praise be to the Most High for another day of their life, another year. They're growing so quickly. I say young ones because I'm talking about the twins. But anyway, say hi, young ones.
Hi.
What was I gonna say? I pray everybody's well, everybody's safe, all that lovely, beautiful, great stuff. We're on our way to the Yummy this morning. And yesterday I touched briefly on this New Year's resolution thought. And like I said, sometimes when I speak, I always go back and listen to see if I had any misinformation, if I said something that was off, if I said something that needs correcting. So I don't just I'm not that person who just irresponsibly like throws out my words out there and then don't recheck it. You know what I mean? So when I went to the gym this morning, I was listening back to what I was saying. I'm going to look more into that Janice discussion because for years, as the article in Wikipedia was saying, because Wikipedia is not all the way, I kind of just use it as a springboard because, anybody can update Wikipedia. But now that they're saying it's not connected with Janus, which they've been saying all these years, and that it's actually another deity, that's something that, when I have some time, I'm going to go back and look into. But as for right now, what they've been saying all this time, when you look at the association with January and that whole looking back and looking forward, yeah. So concerning the New Year, new me. It's New Year, new me. I'm gonna detox my timeline, and I'm gonna detox especially on social media like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. People be all like throwing shots. I'm a detox. I'm like, man, come on. You live for this stuff. Let's stop fronting. You live for this stuff. Good morning, everybody. You live for this stuff. You like this stuff. You detox your timeline, and you haven't detoxed your mind, and you feel like bored. I don't really go into there anymore. You be going on there to see what's popping, who's into what, back and forth, and what's going on. I don't know why people be funny. But anywho, I took the liberty to look up New Year's resolution. I'm like, oh, New Year's resolution. And we're looking at the grammatics of it, right? So when I looked it up, I was like, let me look it up real quick. But it's a noun, right? And they're like, why do a lot of New Year's resolutions fall through? And why doesn't it, carry on past February? Sometimes for some people past January 15th. You know what I mean? They be like, yeah, I'm doing it. Oh, no, forget it. I'm not doing it. And when you look up, it's a noun. Resolution is a noun. The word itself is a noun. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then, they'll have like related to resolving. Now we know if it ends in ing, then that's a verb, right? So that means you're doing something. So a noun is a what? Person, place, a thing, right? So you made this thing. You made this declaration, which is a thing. The Declaration of Independence is a thing, okay? You said something, you wrote something, and then it became this thing. The Constitution is a thing, right? But actually doing something that's going to get you from point A to point B is a verb. So the verb for resolution is resolving. And then I was like, well, that's interesting more. And within resolving is the prefix re and the root solve. So you already solved something, or the word is in there, and then you're going to resolve it, which is all, who thinks this intriguing? I don't know. I just like messing around with words and looking at, okay, well, what is the root of what we're actually saying? In order to be solving something, acknowledge that there's a problem. And just saying, new year, new me. Well, who was the old you? You know what I'm saying? What was going on with that person? And why do you need to resolve this, something? What are you trying to fix there? What are you trying to fix? Then all of these things are oftentimes why we fail, because at the root of it, we haven't really done the real reflections. Like, oh, this year I'm going to, I don't know, stop eating junk food. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's what's up. That's a good little goal there. And then it's like, well, why am I inclined to eat more junk food? Am I lazy? Because then you have to deal with that. Am I a procrastinator? Then you have to deal with that. Do I not like to cook, or do I not know how to cook? You have to deal with that. Am I impatient? Do I not like to see? So you make this one resolution and you think it's just a junk food, not realizing that it has all of these tentacles and there are deeper roots to this thing, and there are other reasons as to why you start off running like, I'm running. By the way, it's a red light. I'm about to turn, so if you see me doing any theatrics, I'm safe. So you start off running, and you're all like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. And then tutus, that's a little Caribbean transitionary word, tutus. Tutus from now, next thing you know, you back doing the same thing, because the tentacles, the root system of why you're doing that behavior was never addressed. You're just looking at, I resolve, which is a noun, to do this thing. And then people say, hey, it's simple. You go on Google and be like, there goes an article. It tells me exactly how to do it. Blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, you get bored. I'll eat something else. Or you have some familiar thoughts that's connected to food that you can't give up. You can't seem to let go of. You have all of these emotions that's connected to it. Like, I remember one time an elder was saying to me, she was like, Amuna, I just can't stop eating crab. I love crab boils. I love seafood. And I'm like, okay. I'm coming for your crabs right now, if you right. She's like, I just love eating. And I'm like, okay, that's very interesting. Okay, what about them do you love eating? Because, when I was younger, we used to have these crab boils in my family. We would have a big old pot and we would sit around and eat the thing and this, that, and the third. So I'm like, we do understand that these crabs and these shrimp are sea crustaceans, aka cockroaches and the like, right? Like, yeah, but don't say that because it tastes good when you put the butter on it and you put the stuff on it. I'm like, but we cognitively, intellectually, we understand the function of this thing, but emotionally, people seem not to want to give it up. Some is just straight rebellion, like, you're not going to tell me what to do, I'm going to do it because I want to. And then others, there's a connection. So when I asked her, so you used to sit around with family and eat this thing? They say yes. I said, so is it the family, that bonding around this particular item, that you feel like if I let this go, I'm letting that go? Or is it the actual crab itself? Because if you went to the doctor and the doctor said, hey man, you getting gout, or you getting whatever, you get hypertension, high blood pressure off of eating this stuff, and if you don't stop eating it, you know what I mean, you gonna peace out. Some people be like, I got to let it go. So I said to her, what if your family tried finding something else, or you guys find something else that you can surround and bond? She's like, I never thought of it that way. So sometimes when you say, I can't give up, you're really saying, I don't want to. I don't like the feeling of what it means or how it's going to translate. And I don't know what else we're going to be able to connect with or connect over. So for those who just joined us, welcome. I'm just going in a little bit on this resolution business and why for many people it does not work. Because you have to be resolving. If it's not something that you have solved, or just making a resolution or a declaration or affirming, I want this thing, is not going to get the thing done. Resolving is a verb. Resolution is a noun. You have to continuously, in small, yes, you have to set a goal. Without a goal, you're just going to be walking around or driving around or riding around aimlessly. So you need a goal. Goals are important. But you can have 50 million goals with no realistic course charted to get to that goal, and then you're just going to be a goal setter for life. Yeah, I got a goal. I got another goal. Be like, okay, what you going to do to get to it? So, for instance, right now, a lot of people are going to be like, I'm going to lose weight. That's one of the number one New Year's resolutions. After you've done stuff your gut during, the last 6 weeks, you had the stuff gut competition. And now we're like, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, fine. How do you plan to do that? Some people do extreme things, right? And when you do extreme things, you held off so much, you felt like you what was the word? Really, really, really tight. You know what I mean? I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then pulling back, and you let go one day, like forget it. Next thing you know, yeah, worse than when you started. You know what I mean? So for many people, that doesn't work either. So for instance, I'm just going to tackle something very simple. I'm going to stop eating for, like, say the person, my name is whoever, I'm gonna stop eating junk food. That are attached emotionally to like crunchy food, that's stress, salty food. I switch over. I do alternatives. I don't necessarily eat, all of those Doritos, which that stuff is no good, man. You know what I mean? But there are healthier alternatives when you need that crunch, when you feel you need the crunch. So it can start by switching from one thing to the other while you're working on the source of the problem. So they say crunchy foods have to do with stress. And there's a lot of people who like sweet foods, addicted to that. That has to do with a lot of times, or a whole lot of stuff. But some people are addicted to sweet foods or a lot of refined sugars. You see what I'm saying? And that could be many things emotionally, but that can also be the yeast, the candida. It may signify to you that you need a cleanse, right? So that you can reset your taste buds. You know what I mean? There's some people who like salty, and the food is like, blood pressure type salty, and they're sitting there eating it. When you are taxing certain parts of your body, your liver, if you like a lot of fried, oily foods, your liver, man, you have a fatty liver. And then if your liver can't purify your blood, then you got blood that needs purifying. So there are all of these things. If you drink too much soda, you're jacking up your kidneys. If you eat too much heavy foods and you eat too much red meat and things of that nature, you're jacking up your colon. And then this is going to affect you emotionally. So then when you do try to change, it becomes difficult, because all of the residues of all of these things, of all of the years that you've been doing this thing, are still in your system. So I find a holistic approach to understanding how external factors, certain stressors and certain thoughts that we're thinking repetitively feed our appetite or our desires. It sends us little signals like, oh man, you need this right now. Oh, the person goes, oh, it's stressful, they need a drink right now. Or, oh man, they need a Little Debbie. Please don't be eating Little Debbies, y'all. All this kind of stuff is like, if you look at the ingredients in this stuff, and you educate yourself on the ingredients, and then you resolve that, hey, I don't want to put things in my body that's going to make me inclined to cancer or make me inclined to diabetes. And so so then when you go, there's something that you can actually do at the supermarket, which is read the ingredients. And you begin reading the ingredients, not just feeding the desire like, oh, I want this thing, but you actually begin to read your resolution. There's something that you just simply by reading the ingredients. Oh, no, this has such and such in it. You know what I mean? This has some ingredients I can't understand. This has high fructose corn syrup. And some of this stuff you're eating, it has like 5 different types of sugars in there. And I'm being generous. You know what I mean? It'll be like high fructose corn syrup. That's the sucrose. That's another sugar. Then it'll be like white processed sugar. And then it'll be like all of that equals sugar. Sugar, and more sugar. You understand what I'm saying? Sugar, and more sugar. And so just even cutting back or dialing back the dial on just those things alone, and drinking more water, you'll be surprised. It sounds like a very simple thing, but you'll be surprised at how many adults have told me personally, I don't like water. I'm like, what? I don't drink water. What? Like, what? I mean, I don't like the taste of water. What? Water is essential. I mean, come on, 60 to 70% of your body as an adult is made up of water. You don't like water? That's a problem. So it's also the mindset. I bet you if you was walking through the Sahara, you'll like some water. Really, oh, I love water. So it's also about reprogramming our mind to feel like we always have to have something sweet. You can ask the children. Sometimes they'd be like, oh, mommy, can I have juice? And what do I say? Drink water. They be tight. I already drank water. I'm like, you'll drink some more. You know what I mean? And it's not because, oh, you're cheap and you can't afford a juice. Juice is not something that you just drink all day, every day. Coffee is not something that you just drink all day, every day. Some people do. They drink more coffee than they do drink water. That's a problem in the wrong one. So all of these little choices that we make every day, they have memes, they have whole industries that say, oh, I can't get my day started if I don't have my cup of coffee. Huh? You can't get up and move if you don't drink coffee? That means you're an addict. You're addicted. You're a fiend. Coffee is your drug. Caffeine is your drug. If you can't move without this thing, now you become dependent upon this thing. And now this thing becomes your source of life. And this country has that thought process. Tell me how many times you've seen people with shirts, don't talk to me, I haven't drank my coffee. Or they have a mug that has a line of how much. They walk around slugging around the kitchen or wherever until they get the coffee, and then now they're in their right mind to comments when I get to the spot. But now they're in their right mind to have a conversation. What? But it's okay. You see, in this country, only certain things that are legalized and can be taxed are, even though they have the same drugs, are permissible. So yes, caffeine is a drug. It alters your state, but you can go to Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks and cop that with no problem. And people are addicted to it with no problem. And other things that people are addicted to, it's like, oh, you're so bad for being addicted. Wait a minute. Aren't you both addicted? Aren't you? Like, I personally, ever since I was young, anything that I'm too dependent on, I don't like. Like any substance, like anything that I begin to feel like, yo, I can't do whatever without this thing that is like a substance that's gonna, I'm like, nah, because I want to be in control. I don't want something else outside of me to be like, ooh, you know what I mean, controlling you. And so how you get to where you get to control yourself is you begin to wean yourself off of things that are problematic in nature. You know what I mean? Are problematic in nature. So these are actually resolving issues within our lives. You're gonna slip up. You're gonna be the resolutions, which is food. You're gonna taste something and you be like, oh, I don't like that. I talked about Brussels sprouts before. I love Brussels sprouts. You taste different foods. You substitute different things. You get healthier alternatives. Nobody's saying for you like food and, you know, eat bland food and don't live. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you say you have a resolution for your health and you say you want to improve your health, then it's something that you do on a continuum. If you have issues with junk food, that means you have to learn to plan ahead. Because for whatever reason, once you get hungry, then you have to get it now. And junk food comes in, that and all the stuff they put in it to get you addicted, but that's another story for another day. So you have to make sure that you plan ahead. And you know what I mean? And while you're planning ahead, you begin to cleanse. Because when you begin to cleanse your system and reset certain things, when you go back and taste those foods, you begin all of the adulterates in them. You taste all of those chemicals that's in them. But once you're accustomed to it, you can't really taste it. But step back for a minute. Some people go on water fast to cleanse. Some people go on full fast to cleanse. Cleansing is a way to reset your body. Some people, you know, depending on what you are and what it is that you can do, you know, you do these different things, and then you come back to the table and be like, man, I don't even have a desire for that anymore. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I wanted to share. I'm going to look at the comments in a minute. But I just wanted to share that if you are into this whole new year, new me, then it's something to be resolving on a continuum. I'll give another. If you are, few people will be like, you know what, I'm a hater, and this year I'm gonna try to hate less. You know what I mean? And it's funny because everybody's always talking about haters, but the haters hardly ever put their hand up to be like, yo, I'm the hater. You know what I mean? So if you are a hater, right, and for perchance you make a resolution and you're resolving that you're not going to be hating, it's important to know, because then it's going to be like, yo, be true to yourself, because then you might be fake being nice and you're really still hating. So to be true to yourself is, what is the core purpose or the core reason, the root problem you're hating? It's going to either be that you're a jealous person, a possessive person. That has a lot to do with your root chakra being out of balance. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? And a lot of times your root chakra, not just like, ooh, do chakras, understanding what these things represent, that has to do with you feeling that you have a place, you know what I mean, that you're stabilized, that there's enough for everybody to go around, that no one is going to come in from you and steal from you. And people who are imbalanced in that area, either when it's overactive, which means that you're this possessive, grabby type person, or underactive, which it's tightened, it's not a positive flow from the earth, because the earth is here, right? The earth is the Most High's and the fullness thereof. You understand? And the earth is made to yield its abundance onto us if we understand the keys to unlock it. Some of us are born in situations where there's a lack, where there's poverty, or where there's an abundance. It depends. Whatever it is, you're born into a space where there may be on either side of the spectrum. And depending on that soul, because it always depends on the soul too, depending on that soul and their perspective of what they were seeing in that time where the root chakra was formulating, they will lean to the left or lean to the right. And when they do so, they develop this envious spirit, if it's envy, because the thought is that should be mine, or I want that, or I deserve that, right? That's what, I don't know what y'all missed, y'all. My bad. Let me dial back a little bit. I don't know what y'all missed, so I'm just gonna start at the root chakra conversation. And as it relates to what was going on when that was formulating within you as a child. So a lot of the thoughts, this is for the hater who's resolving, not just make a resolution, resolving to stop hating. You have to look at what type of environment did you come from? Did you come from an environment of lack? Did you come from an environment of fear, of resources? A lot of times people are hating on the resources that someone else has access to because they themselves feel as though they don't have access to those resources. If you come into a family, your birth order is important. Born, are you the first person or you last person? For instance, say you the baby in a house where there was limited resources, and your thought was, I gotta do what I gotta do because there's gonna be none left for me. Then you internalize that thought, and you carry that thought forward in how it is that you interface, not only as within your home, but outside the home. So a lot of times, somebody else, you had a sister, brother, you had a cousin, and the caretaker, the family, or the parents, they gave that person more love and more adoration and more affirmation than they did you for whatever reason. And this happened a lot in people's communities. This one has privilege because of X on. That person internalizes and despises the thing which the other person has. And so that spirit, let's just say, of a hater is born. Or you have the cynic, the person who's cynical about everything and everyone because they don't have a good self-esteem about themselves. Right? So there's so many complexities to the hater. Package it all and be like, that person is a hater, but no, there's more. And if that person wants to do better and they don't want to be this person, then they have to go about the business of resolving these pre-existing issues that they have that they may not be acknowledging. So we talked about the hater. We talked about if the person wants to, make a resolution about their health. It's not something that today you're going to jump on a treadmill and then 2 days later you're done. Something that you can do small. That's what kind of builds. One more thing about a hater. If they feel like they have to keep all of the intention to themselves, how do you break out of that? You start giving words of affirmation to other people positively. You cannot even know the person. Like sometimes if I'm on the street and I see somebody and they're dressed nicely, I'm like, oh, you look nice today. And you see their whole being light up. You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to know the person. Sometimes I talk to people and then people who are with me be like, you know the person? Be like, no. That doesn't mean that you care. I don't have to know you to be like, oh, you know what? You look nice today. Oh, that's a nice such and such, whatever the case may be. So these are the little small things that we can do and say to begin to sow a different seed or chart a different pathway or groove within the mind to make our behaviors, because we talked about yesterday about reprogramming the mind. You have to bring in new behaviors, and you're going to get a different feeling. Sometimes it may feel tight. A lot of times people don't want to give compliments because you're so tight within yourself that is restricted, and you're holding it back, and you don't want to give somebody that shine. You see that a lot of on social media, that, oh, I don't want to call your name because I don't want to make you relevant. I try not to get into the name calling because people on social media is bugged out. You know what I mean? Like, I do it if I gotta do it. You know what I mean? And it's not about not making the person relevant. People, even if you call their name to make a critique, people are like, oh, you call my name? You're like, what in the world is wrong with you? What in the world is wrong with you? I pray everybody, continue to have a blessed day. I'm not going to hang up yet because I'm almost at the spot. So resolving, for those who joined us on the back end, resolution is a noun. Resolving is a verb. Has a prefix of re and a suffix or the root of solve. It means that there's a problem because you're trying to solve it. So making a resolution means that you're trying to fix a problem within yourself or within your environment. And then that takes reflection, and that takes honesty, and that takes a plan of action. This is why you see all of these politicians on the stage, and they're like, oh, I resolved to do this, and I want to do that. And the people are like, well, what's your plan of action? How do you propose? That sounds great. You know what I mean? That sounds beautiful. How do you propose making it happen? We say that for other people. Somebody comes in with these big, illustrious plans. Hopefully, we're saying, okay, that sounds what's up. That's what's up. Because theory and practice is two different things. You could be like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then a whole lot of other stuff that you didn't foresee happen. And now, like, what are you going to do about that? You know what I mean? And that's kind of like anything in life. Things pop up. Oh, today I'm tired. Today I'm not going to make it. And then what you do tomorrow, like fall all the way off because I didn't make it today? Or you going to get up and just keep moving? Hold on. The babies have been nice today. Don't be coming to work on these days, boy. They be like, I'm off today. It's January 1. Ain't nobody at work except for the lonely little lawyer man. All right. We got the yummy. Let's see what's going on here. No, Takoya, no, Takoya, no. Stop it, Takoya. Just wait. 10 hours into the new year and we acting brand new already. Junk food is low cost and readily available. That's true too. And that's done by design. Tutu, stop. Just wait. No, man. Just stop and wait right there. Hey, peace, welcome. Broadcast you did not too long ago about food ingredients still has me taking longer to shop. Stop it. Yes. Why do you think it takes us so long at the store? It takes us forever at the store. And you'll see other people who up on it. They'll be reading them ingredients. But I promise you, watch in a few weeks if you don't see the effects of it. Please don't. No, please don't. Mayel. Why did you do that? But why did you get out of your seat? Y'all see this? I can't even read comments, y'all. What in the world? Hold on. Yeah, I was all like, oh, y'all being nice. Big facts about the coffee. Yep. Jason said YouTubers. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you no shine. I'm not gonna give you no shine. I'm not gonna da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Because the thought is, oh, somebody's gonna go over there and look, and then you're gonna get subscribers. And I mean, come on, man. Anyway, these jokers is not gonna be nice to me today. So let me go ahead and get about this car. Thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody be blessed, man. All right, one.